first we're gonna create the roux. So take about a cup of flour, put it in there, and I'm doing a family size because we got a family of 6. So I'm gonna be letting this boil. Whole thing of that. 2 cans of beer. Pour your 2 cans of beer, and by the way, you don't want to use an IPA beer or anything like that. You want to use just like Natural Light or Bud Light, something like that. Don't use any of those darker beers. What? Can't like that one. What? Oh shoot, it's still. We're gonna add half a stick of butter to our flour. We're gonna put that on medium. And we're gonna add the second stick of butter into the flour. Mix that in. So that's a whole stick of butter for that 1 cup of flour. And we're gonna mix that in until it's fully melted. And it'll start to look like this. This is what's gonna make the soup thicker, so it's not so runny. And then I'll show you what spices we're gonna add, and then we're gonna add the roux into this with the cheese. It's our final step. Okay. Here's all the spices that you're going to need. And this one is pepper, okay? So salt, pepper, ground mustard, celery salt, cayenne, onion powder, and garlic powder, okay? You're gonna need a teaspoon, half of a teaspoon, depending on how spicy you want that, but I do a half. This is instead of celery. My kids don't like celery, so I would do just a half of that because we're already using salt, a teaspoon, and just a 1/4 and a 1/4, okay? This is kind of a recipe that I've created, so hopefully this all tastes good at the end. Let's keep that boiling for a little bit longer with the spices in it, and we're going to come back to our roux, which has been sitting there for a minute, but we're going to add milk to it. We're going to add about half a cup of milk to it, or half and half. Half and half is preferable because it's thicker. I don't have half and half, so we're going to add milk. Okay, so let's add that in there. Just want a half a cup. We're gonna put this on medium heat. We're gonna stir that in there until it comes to a boil, and then we're gonna add that to the beer and chicken broth. All right. In. All right, we're gonna add that in now. All right, let's add it in. There we go. That's what I do. I start squishing it on the sides just to get that melted in there like that. And just keep doing that until it's all dissolved in there. Okay, we've left it boiling for a little bit now, and as you can see, it's getting thicker and thicker. So now is about the time to add the cheese in and let that to start to dissolve in there. And most of the chunks have pretty much melted in there. Some little chunks here and there as you find them. Just kind of bring them over to the side, squish them. That's what I do, just to make sure. But yeah, it's been going here, but yeah, it's getting thicker. Nope, there's one. Where'd it go? Okay. This recipe is gonna call for 2 pounds of mild cheddar cheese. You can also use a sharp cheddar cheese. Alright, so just kind of in there like that, and it'll start melting. And soon it will be beer cheese soup. But my beer cheese soup has one secret ingredient that others don't have. I add cream cheese. I'd say that's about 1/4 cup I'm adding. Might need to add a little bit. I don't know. Might be okay.
Serious.
You can add chicken broth after the fact if it's too thick, but you can't add beer after the fact because the beer needs to boil from that 2 pound thing because it was pretty thick. Might have only needed 1 pound in this. I overestimated, but I love cheese. I'm literally munching on some right now as I cook. And then we have the hate. So what? Then we have the taste test to make sure. Can't feed it to our family and then it not taste good, right? Perfect.